Hello there, my dear viewer, listener. This is Two Dolphins, Leah again, and I decided to create a little introductory video before I record the weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 card choice or number coded card reading choice videos for the week starting on the 5th of September 2016. So, in this video, um, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Ever since I was a little girl, I really enjoyed the presentation and entrepreneur side of human existence. I was the type of child who got a huge satisfaction out of singing to a group of people or saying a poem to a group of people or reading a tale to a group of people. I was also creating my own tales for fellow kids. Later, I became a singer and a dancer on stage. I pretty much grew up on stage. For the State Opera House back in my birth country in Central Europe. And then later I became a not too famous but somewhat known world music singer in Hungary. But I was always most interested in the spiritual side of things, and I even tried to kind of reform our band to lean more towards the new age spiritualistic side of things, but I was unsuccessful. So first I started my own podcast voice recordings for YouTube in Hungarian many years ago, representing spiritual topics. Sometimes it was also a project for university because I was doing my communication degree, but most of the time it was, trying to channel the goodies that made me feel good in life. And I always wanted to spread the joy of it. I was looking into ways how the inner joy could be multiplied by sharing and how to share the tools, the spiritual tools that have been working out for me, how to pass it on in a form that is enjoyable for me and not too catastrophic for others. And in between, my stage years and now, I've been through a lot of difficulties. I think it's a common feature in most spiritual healers and medium type of persons' lives that we face all sorts of tragedies and suppression and ego power gains by others. And in my opinion, it is really to make it crystal clear in us what we want to channel by knowing what we want to avoid. So I have my own theory in becoming like the cleansing agents of our whole family's karmas and then bringing something new and something a lot better. So it's not an easy task, but I also find that I think that life can be a lot more complicated and painful for people who don't have the spiritual awareness and they are going through stuff like that. Um, and then as I was doing my cleansing work on my chakras and myself, returning to my original callings after going through all those tests and trials, I just felt that that child is still within me. I still want to channel what I have. And I had this old but very vivid dream and wish to be on the camera and talk to people about spiritual things and invite them to join me on this adventure. And I have to say that in the past years I was just watching others. I wasn't recording anything. I was well, except from a few, exercise like recordings that I think were way below my own standards, so I didn't even keep them. But I spent a lot of time by watching others and kind of allowing myself to think about my own ways and how I want to do things when I get there. And this year I've got there. So this is my journey. This is part of my journey, and I'm really grateful if you're watching this. Please also subscribe, share it with others, or just send the video link to people who you think could benefit from it, or to the people you love. And this week I'm gonna use two decks for you for the readings. And the common feature in these decks, Oracle card decks, is the illustrator, who is Richard Crooks, and I love his work. These are basically my most powerful and favorite cards. One is the astrology reading cards by Alison Chester Lambert. So this is one I will be using this week, and the other is, and I think this was the very first deck that I've ever had, very very special, very close to my heart, also because I live by the sea in Scotland. Angels of Atlantis Oracle cards by Stuart Pearce, and also illustrated by the very creative and new agey visionary Richard Crooks. So, see you in one of the following videos. When I say, number choice, number coded card reading messages, it's just simply intuition. So choose the message that resonates with you the most according to the number. You just click on the right video, like if it says, if you think two, or, I try to come up with these creative titles, but basically you see the number and then you choose one, and there you go. And you can also get your own personalized reading or spiritual coaching session, intuitive reading, spiritual advice from me at any time. My contact details are below the video, and I'm also on Facebook, which was another huge step for me because I'm not too techy and I prefer, face-to-face contact. So if you ever happen to be in Scotland, come around and get an in-person reading from me. Those are my favorites. So see you soon, plenty of blessings, and enjoy your weekend.